Take a deep breath, let it out slowly. If you're listening to this right now and you feel like the odds were stacked against you before you even had a fair chance, like you were handed a life script written entirely in disadvantage, rejection, or pain, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes. I want to take you to a small hamlet named Tupadi near Latur, Maharashtra. The year is 1962. A mother had just passed away shortly after giving birth. In this rural village, a newborn girl is not seen as a miracle. She is viewed as a financial curse, a social burden, an unwanted mouth to feed. Her father decides her fate before she even opens her eyes to recognize the world. At just 16 days old, this infant is carried out into a quiet patch of earth. A small hole is dug, and she is buried alive. Imagine the brutal coldness of that reality. 16 days old, you have no voice to cry out for help. You have no strength to fight back. You don't even know what's happening to you. You are literally lying beneath the earth, suffocating in darkness because society deemed your existence a mistake. What do you do when the world decides to erase you before your life has even begun? Miraculously, her maternal grandfather gets the wind of what is happening. He rushes to the field, digs through the dirt with his bare hands and pulls her out. She survives. Her name is Sunita Arlikar.
Just before the breakthrough.
Welcome to Not Yet, Just Before the Breakthrough. I'm your host Senthil. This is a podcast for anyone who feels like quitting today. We don't care about easy victories here. We care about the dark, messy middle. Because if a 16-day-old infant can be dug out of the dirt and grow up to challenge the entire society's prejudices, you can survive whatever trial is facing you today. Let's talk about how she did it. Surviving the grave at 16 days old was only the beginning of Sunita's fight. Growing up as a motherless girl in extreme poverty, she lived with constant heavy knowledge that her own father had tried to end her life. When she turned 14, the hostility resurfaced. She survived yet another targeted attempt on her life, organized by her father's circle. Think about the psychological toll of that. Most teenagers are worrying about school, friendships, and their futures. Sunita was worrying about basic physical survival, constantly reminded that her environment wanted her gone. She had every reason to grow up bitter, fearful, or completely broken, but Sunita possessed an unshakable inner steel. She realized early on that her strongest weapon against this cycle of cruelty was in education. Despite crippling financial limitations and severe social pressures to drop out, she put herself through high school. She pushed through every barrier until she earned a spot as a trainee nurse at a hospital in Latur. For the first time, the girl who was meant to be buried in dirt was wearing a uniform, healing others, and standing firmly on her own 2 feet. I want to pause right here. Look at her now. Her now was a childhood built on survival, working long hours as a trainee nurse, earning tiny wages, carrying the heavy memory of being buried alive. She could have easily settled into a quiet life, played it safe, and hid from the world that had been so hostile to her. Maybe that's where you are standing today. Your now is heavy with a past trauma. You feel marked by where you started, by an unfair childhood, a painful upbringing, or a system that treated you like a burden. You are looking at other people who had a head start, and you feel like you have been buried under the weight of your own circumstances. But Sunita didn't let her origin story dictate her destination. She owned her now. She took the very dirt that was thrown over her as a child and used it as the foundation to build something extraordinary. She decided that her pain would not be the dead end, it would be her purpose. Your past is not a life sentence, it is just your starting point. Own your now. Sunita married Dilip, a like minded social worker who supported her mission entirely. Together, they didn't just build a home, they launched a movement. Sunita looked back at the very village that practiced female infanticide and decided to walk straight into the storm. She didn't preach from far. She went household to household in the rural Maharashtra, using her own shocking story to confront deep-rooted prejudices. She looked illiterate, struggling parents in the eye and said, "Look at me. I was buried at 16 days old. Today I am a nurse. Today I save lives. Do not throw away your daughters." She spent decades rescuing young girls, convincing dropouts to return to school, conducting over 90 intercaste marriages to break the social divides, and campaigning relentlessly against the violence towards women. The infant who was dug out of a shallow grave grew up to become a director at Maharashtra Housing Finance Corporation, a national symbol of resilience and a savior to thousands of young women across India. Sunita Arlikar's life proves one fundamental truth. No matter how deep the hole is that life digs for you, you have the power to climb out and light the way for others. I know you feel buried right now under pressure, doubt, or your own circumstances. But remember where you are. Are you finished? No. Is this the end of your book? No. Have you been buried? Not yet. You are just in the messy middle. You are standing right where Sunita stood before her story changed thousands of lives. You are just before the breakthrough. So take a deep breath. Take one more step. And until we meet next week, own your now. I'm your host Senthil. Let's take the next step together. Bye for now.
Just before the breakthrough.